Hello and welcome to another lovely Wednesday where we get to learn more about what is coming in Project Caesar, otherwise known as EU5. And today we're going to be looking at foreign buildings. Let's just dive right in. Lovely looking mine here. I mean, as lovely as any mine can be, I guess. But let us jump in. Another happy Wednesday, the day of the week where we give you information about our almost entirely secret project, Caesar. So we can listen to your feedback. Yes, let us get into this. We are going to be talking about buildings, specifically foreign buildings, buildings that you can build in other countries, buildings you can build in other locations that you do not own. Something that is, I guess, unique to the Europa franchise. I guess you can technically say you can do this in the Victoria games. You can, build someone else's factories in Victoria 2, and I believe Victoria 3 has a way of building foreign buildings now as well. But this is new to the Europa franchise, so let us see how they plan to do it. These types of buildings are called foreign buildings, so the common ones. One common building many countries can build in foreign towns and cities is a trade office, which requires that the owner of that location has an opinion of at least 100 of your country. This makes me think we're getting the same minus 200 to positive 200 relation system, which I think worked pretty well in EU4. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that return, to be honest. It's one way to get a foothold into another market. The caveat is that the merchant power is relying entirely on the maritime presence it can provide. I don't really understand this. So you're going to build a trade office in another country. It gives some maritime presence to that location and gives, I guess, is it you or is it the location getting some merchant capacity? Because it says gives the following benefits to its location. What is the benefit that you as a person gets? Is this actually... it says that you will get a foothold into a market, so you would think it is, all about merchant power, which it says here, but it doesn't say how much merchant power it's going to give. Is that because that is a calculation based on the maritime presence that you get out of it? Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I want a little bit more information on this one. What is the benefit to me of getting a trade office? I'm not spending the burgers, that's fine, these are coming from the location. I guess this symbol means it is a foreign building. You can build it in cities, you can build it in towns, and I guess it is upgradable. But what is the benefit to me? I mean, I believe it's going to be merchant power that I get. But it says nothing about that on this screen, so I would like a little bit more information, I think. Another building you can build in the capitals of countries of the same rank or above is an embassy. They increase your diplomatic capacity by 0.1 and lift the fog of war over the location. Again, the location is the smallest area of land. Lift the fog of war over just the capital. I'm not sure that's going to really impact gameplay all that much. You're not going to be able to, have any tactics around that unless maybe you're building 1,000 embassies at every single location in the HRE, I guess. But yeah, it is rather costly in upkeep, so you're probably not going to want to have too many useless ones for sure. It requires lots of paper and jewelry. Not all foreign buildings can be built in an owned location, though, and some require that the location has no current owner to be allowed to be built. One such building you want to build in any area where you're doing a colonial charter is a mission. These are buildings that will convert 100 pops every month to your state religion if the building is fully staffed and has access to its goods. Okay, this instantly sounds kind of useful. However, I have issues. I have issues with it. Building a mission. in a place that I maybe want to go and colonize. Sounds great until you recognize the fact that you cannot build it in an owned location. So I'm, say, going to the New World. I'm going to, say, New York area. I'm going to start my Colonial charter and then build this mission in a location beside it. It's going to start converting people in the location. Then when my colony tries to colonize it, what happens to the mission? Is that then deleted? Maybe the location that I build this mission on is the second location in a province that starts to be colonized. And am I gonna be building a lot of these that then get deleted pretty much immediately when the colony gets to expand to there? I don't know. I feel like if I could build it, if it doesn't get deleted, and if I could build it in my own locations, as long as they're like colonies, then I think that'd be cool. I feel like also you could probably just build a mission in your own land just generally. Like, sure, it's I mean, I suppose there are different buildings that you could do for that. Maybe you could build a church instead. Maybe a mission could be upgraded to a church. Or a a pastoral chapel kind of thing. When you own the location, that could be a good way around it. But it requires 50 clergy pops to staff it to get the benefits. I think if you have only 25, then maybe you're only converting 50 a month, maybe. But yeah, I'm not sure. It feels like a very temporary building that I'm not vibing with the temporariness of it right now. I don't know. Maybe this one could also be something I might need a little bit more information. Maybe I need to see it in practice to see how useful it's going to be, perhaps. But we also have some unique foreign buildings, many unique foreign buildings in the game, depending on what type of country you may be playing. Today we'll show off a few of those unique ones and to make some countries play differently. While the Hanseatic League has multiple buildings they can build, one of their truly unique ones is the shipwrights, as it can be built in any port of their subjects, giving sailors to the owner of the building while also increasing the shipbuilding capacity of the location. Fantastic! I like this. This is a mutually beneficial building. If you are you have a location that is a member of the Hanseatic League, you will of course be having to have more of your pups become sailors, and they won't be your sailors because you will not own the building. However, you will be able to build more buildings more faster. So, trade-offs. If you play a banking country, you can always place a banking office in any town or city, which will give you a small amount of merchant power while also giving you a fair amount of gold. I feel like banking countries might be very... I know of multiple people in my Discord that will be all over banking countries. They will want to play them in every multiplayer, because this is seeming to be like exactly the kind of... gameplay that they seem to enjoy in the EU4 multiplayers that we have right now. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Really, this is a much more diplomatic kind of gameplay. And just, kind of pulling the purse strings and manipulating people. Yeah, I feel like if you're a manipulative person, you're going to enjoy a banking country. Military orders of the Catholic faith can set up an order commandery in any location in another Catholic country. If they have negotiated a sponsorship. If a country agrees to sponsor a military order, they will gain religious influence and prestige every month. What is this? What is religious influence? Is this perhaps in EU4 you have your papal points that you can spend on things in the papal window? I forget the names of all of these things for some reason. Is that now going to be called religious influence? Because that could be kind of interesting. We haven't seen yet how the Catholic Church International Organization will function, so maybe this is going to be the element that you use to interact with it, perhaps. But you'll gain a little bit of prestige every month as well. Each of these commanderies that you build will give you some gold and manpower. So if you are a military order and you build these order commanderies in all these different countries, you'll get a tiny little bit of money. It's not very much, but I don't know who is building these ones. I don't know who owns this, but they have a lot. Look at all of these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there's 10. And there's another 132. So that is a lot. That is an actually exceptional amount. And I am going to check how much that is. So we have 0.08 times 142. They're making 11 gold. They're making 11 gold from all of these foreign buildings. Very cool. And also some manpower. Not sure how much, but yeah, this seems like a great thing. Destroying foreign buildings. For the foreign buildings in your country that require good relations to build, you can always have the option to destroy them if your opinion of that country goes below 0 and you are at peace again. This will obviously lower their opinion of you further and give them a casus belli to be used against your country. Other buildings may require a peace treaty to be removed, though. Fair enough. Well, that may be interesting and fun. I realize this Tinto talk is a bit short, so let's do some more information here. I like more information. You're not gonna see me complaining about that. Some recent changes. The game is constantly updated and tweaked from the feedback and such. Today, they were going to show off some examples of what they've changed recently, mostly due to the great feedback that they have been given. Again, if you have issues with anything that they have shown, give feedback. Go to the forums and write in the comments saying, I don't like X and Y, and this is my suggestion for it to be better. So, first of all, they've added a small staging time to all explorations, where they need to prepare and require resources, tying the exploration mechanics closer to the economy system of the game. For the first few months of an exploration, there'll be a type of construction in the closest tile that fits, requiring goods to progress. That's a really cool idea. One of the other things that was complained about with exploration, and this isn't something that truly bothered me, but I did just record a 6-hour podcast yesterday with the with 3 moves ahead, and one of the things that Leanna was very much against when it came to when it came to exploration, is the fact that when an exploration is using sailors or manpower, those sailors are completely lost. They're just spent, and they are basically dead. You don't get them back upon the culmination of your exploration mission. And she was very upset about this. So perhaps that could be something that could be looked at. It wasn't something that I was overly strong feelings about, but hey, she did, so maybe that could be something that could be looked at. Anyway, the cooldown on assigning generals to armies was not too popular when we talked about it, so instead, now we have a system where it takes time until you get the benefits of a new general in your army. This time is connected to the travel time it takes from your capital to the army, and some extra time for the character to get up to speed. It will make assigning generals and admirals much more of a strategic choice. So, say you have a general that is, 50 in each of their stats. When you decide to assign that general to an army that is half the world away, that army will instantly start gaining some stats, but it will take time for them to appear. So, the 50 Diplo that the character will have gives, I don't know the exact numbers, but say it gives plus 5% morale. It will start off really slowly and gaining 0.1% morale every, month or so until that guy arrives, and then maybe a little bit extra time for that morale to go all the way up to the 5% that the character is going to be giving. I think it's kind of cool. It works pretty well, I guess. It's certainly better than the instantaneous effects that you get in EU4. So any expansion of realism, I think, is a good thing that should be celebrated. One topic that has been raised in various Tinto map talks that they've had has been the lack of ethno-religions. Now they have it so they can lock some religions from allowing their pops to be assimilated before they can be converted. And so we have the example of Judaism. So Ashkenazi Jews, I guess, would be the big example here. So the Judaism religion is part of the Israelite religion group. Pops cannot be assimilated before being converted. Also, being able to see how many pops there are in the world. I love this. That's fantastic. However, I think this is the wrong way around. I think this might be the wrong way around. They shouldn't be able to be converted before they're assimilated. Because here, what we'd have is, say, Ashkenazi Jews would be able to become Ashkenazi Catholics and then be assimilated into Italian Catholics. I feel like would not it make more sense if they can become Italian Jews first and then change those Italian Jews into Italian Catholics? Is that not a more realistic scenario? Because does this mean that you will never be able to find, I guess, unless you convert Italians into Jewish? I guess maybe that is something you can do. You just convert that way. But I don't know. It feels like maybe it's the wrong way around. I'm not sure. But I'd like to know your thoughts on it. But anyway, next week winter is coming, and if you will allow me to speculate, we do know for a fact that various seasons will have various amounts of food growth. So in the spring and summer, your farms will provide more food than they will in the wintertime, which makes sense. That's kind of how reality works. I am a little bit speculative. I'm a little bit apprehensive because this is a system that we have seen before. If you played Imperator Rome, you will not have seen it. But if you played Imperator Rome with the Invictus mod, you will have seen it, and there it didn't really have any impact on your gameplay. You didn't do anything to mitigate this. It ended up just being a case of, I'm getting a pop-up notification to say a city is starving. Oh, look, it's, November. That makes sense. It'll be fine in a couple of months. And then you ignore it, and then the pop-up goes away. And that's kind of how I fear it's going to work here. I hope not. But I guess we will see next week. So, if you would like to see that, then maybe hit the subscribe button, because I will be covering all of the Tinto talks. And if you don't want to miss any, then, subscribe, hit the bell, that kind of thing always works. Let me know in the comment section below how you felt about this dev diary. I'd be always very interested to hear your opinions and thoughts. And until next time, which will be this Friday, where we'll be looking at some Tinto maps of the rest of Africa that we have not yet seen, then thank you very much for watching, and toodaloo. Bye-bye.